والمشركات الظانين بالله ظن السوء عليهم دائرة السوء وغضب الله عليهم ولعنهم وأعد لهم جهنم وساءت مصيرا. ولله جنود السماوات والأرض وكان الله عزيزا حكيما. إنا أرسلناك شاهدا ومبشرا ونذيرا لتؤمنوا بالله ورسوله وتعزروه وتوقروه وتسبحوه بكرة وأصيلا. إن الذين يبايعونك إنما يبايعون الله يد الله فوق أيديهم فمن نكث فإنما ينكث على نفسه ومن أوفى بما عاهد عليه الله فسيؤتيه أجرا عظيما. سيقول لك المخلفون من الأعراب شغلتنا أموالنا وأهلنا فاستغفر لنا يقولون بألسنتهم ما ليس في قلوبهم قل فمن يملك لكم من الله شيئا إن أراد بكم ضرا أو أراد بكم نفعا بل كان الله بما تعملون خبيرا. آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم.
I would like to request for everyone to come to the main hall. If you're done eating, please come to the main hall. Next, I would like to invite Brother Hussain Jafri for Mankabat. Please recite aloud salawat. Alhamdulillah, we're gathered today to celebrate the birthday of Imam Ali ibn Hussain al-Sajid, Zain-ul-Abideen alayhi salam, and son of Imam Hussain, Ali Akbar alayhi salam. May this day bring blessings and joy to all of us. Once again, I would like to invite Brother Hussain Jafri for Mankabat. Please recite aloud salawat.
Assalamu alaikum Momin Mominat. आपको सब लोगों को इंशाल्लाह Eid and Mubarak. We're going to celebrate the Eid of Imam Zain-ul-Abideen alayhi salam, who was born actually on the 5th of Shaban, and then Shahzadi Ali Akbar salam alayhi salam, and his birthday actually is the 11th of Shaban. But given that we do it on the weekends, we kind of combine it. So let me start by reading the Qasida for Shahzadi Ali Akbar alayhi salam, and then inshallah a short one for Imam Zain-ul-Abideen alayhi salam. Before I do it, please recite Surah Fatiha for all the Momin and Mominat, especially for those that have sponsored the Niyaz today. Okay? Bismillah. بار دیگر صلوات اللہم صلی اللہ محمد وآل محمد. ہنسی تم سا رسولوں میں نہیں دیکھا علی اکبر. ہنسی تم سا رسولوں میں نہیں دیکھا علی اکبر. زیارت تیری کرتا ہے زیارت تیری کرتا ہے تیرا بابا علی اکبر. ہنسی تم سا رسولوں میں نہیں دیکھا علی اکبر. یہ کس نے کہہ دیا سرکار کا سایہ نہیں کوئی. یہ کس نے کہہ دیا سرکار کا سایہ نہیں کوئی. محمد مصطفیٰ کا محمد مصطفیٰ کا آپ ہے سایہ علی اکبر. ہنسی تم سا رسولوں میں نہیں دیکھا علی اکبر. نہیں ہوگا تمہارا بھی کوئی سایہ علی اکبر. نہیں ہوگا تمہارا بھی کوئی سایہ علی اکبر. کبھی سائے کا سایہ کبھی سائے کا سایہ ہو نہیں سکتا علی اکبر. ہنسی تم سا رسولوں میں نہیں دیکھا علی اکبر. دیے راہب کو جس نے 7 بیٹے اپنی مرضی سے. دیے راہب کو جس نے 7 بیٹے اپنی مرضی سے. نماز شب میں اس نے نماز شب میں اس نے آپ کو مانگا علی اکبر. ہنسی تم سا رسولوں میں نہیں دیکھا علی اکبر. صلوات. خدا کے لاڈلے کے لاڈلے ہو تم جبیرن میں رب نے. خدا کے لاڈلے کے لاڈلے ہو تم جبی رب نے. اذاں میں بھی تمہارا نام اذاں میں بھی تمہارا نام ہے رکھا علی اکبر. ہنسی تم سا رسولوں میں نہیں دیکھا علی اکبر. فرشتے انبیاء سب 11ویں شاباں کو آتے ہیں، فرشتے انبیاء سب 11ویں شاباں کو آتے ہیں، در شبیر پر لینے، در شبیر پر لینے تیرا صدقہ علی اکبر، ہنسی تم سا رسولوں میں نہیں دیکھا علی اکبر، ہنسی تم سا رسولوں میں نہیں دیکھا علی اکبر۔ نہ کیوں کر یاد تجھ کو دیکھ کر اللہ کی آئے، نہ کیوں کر یاد تجھ کو دیکھ کر اللہ کی آئے، تیرا دادا ہے جب اللہ، تیرا دادا ہے جب اللہ کا چہرہ علی اکبر، ہنسی تم سے رسولوں میں نہیں دیکھا علی اکبر، ہنسی تم سا رسولوں میں نہیں کھا علی اکبر۔ وہ کاغذ وزن میں یوسف کے ہم پل لا نظر آیا، وہ کاغذ وزن میں یوسف کے ہم پل لا نظر آیا، لکھا تھا جس پہ خالی نام، لکھا تھا جس پہ خالی نام ہی تیرا ہے علی اکبر، ہنسی تم سا رسولوں میں نہیں دیکھا علی اکبر، اجازت دے محمد تو اسے بھی آمنہ کہہ دوں، اجازت دے محمد تو اسے بھی آمنہ کہہ دوں، وہ جس بی بی نے تم کو، وہ جس بی بی نے تم کو گود میں پالا علی اکبر، ہنسی تم سا رسولوں میں نہیں علی اکبر، ہنسی تم سا رسولوں میں نہیں کھا علی۔ تکلم کیسے پہچانیں گے اس کو لوگ محشر میں، تکلم کیسے پہچانیں گے اس کو لوگ محشر میں، رسول اللہ رسول اللہ کے جب ساتھ آئے گا علی اکبر، ہنسی تم سا رسولوں میں نہیں دیکھا علی اکبر، ہنسی تم سا رسولوں میں نہیں دیکھا علی اکبر، زیارت تیری کرتا ہے، زیارت تیری کرتا ہے تیرا بابا علی اکبر، ہنسی تم سا رسولوں میں نہیں دیکھا علی اکبر۔ صلوات بار دیگر صلوات انشاءاللہ۔ a few, inshallah, verses on the wiladat of our fourth Imam, Imam Zain-ul-Abideen alayhi salam. And we are indebted to him as we utilize his du'as, whether it is du'a afiya or du'as for children, du'as for parents. And then in month of Ramadan we read Makarim al-Akhlaq and you know the whole list of du'as, besides the treaties of rights, you know, Risalatul Huquq, that inshallah Maulana will expand on it. So what a Sabir Imam, Allahu Akbar, what a Sabir Imam. May Allah inshallah bring that day that we can go to Medina and offer our prayers, our ziyarat without any restrictions. And inshallah the Rawza inshallah be constructed soon. Bihaqqi Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Salawat. Chal saki aa gaya yawm ishrat fiza, aaj saqi ke ghar jashn milad hai. Chal sakhi aa gaya yawm ishrat fiza, chal sakhi aa gaya یوم عشرت فضا, آج ساقی کے گھر جشن میلاد ہے. اپنے سخی کو پوتا تولد ہوا, آج ساقی کے گھر جشن میلاد ہے. کیسی اترائی پھرتی ہے بادِ صبا, سین گلشن میں سبزہ لہکنے لگا. ہر کلی کی زباں پر ہے صلوات, ہر کلی کی زباں پر ہے صلی اللہ. آج ساقی کے گھر جشن میلاد ہے. ساقیا گھر میں تیرے ہے شادی رچی, دھوم رندوں میں صلوات کی ہے مجید. اللہم صلی اللہ. ساقیا گھر میں تیرے ہے شادی رچی, دھوم رندوں میں صلوات کی ہے مچی. کیوں نہ ہو جان نثاروں میں ہے ہر خوشی, کیوں نہ ہو جان نثاروں میں بے حد خوشی. آج ساقی کے گھر جشن میلاد ہے. پانچویں ماہ شعبان مسعود ہے, خوش بہت آج ساقی ذی جود ہے. گود میں چاند سا ایک مولود ہے, گود میں چاند سا ایک مولود ہے. آج ساقی کے گھر جشن میلاد ہے. تولد ہوئے آج زین العباد, صلوات اللہم صلی اللہ ہے. تولد ہوئے آج زین العباد ہے. یہ پہلا ثمر نخل شبیر کا, گل ملائک میں ہے آج صلوات کا, گل ملائک میں ہے آج صلوات کا. آج ساقی کے گھر جشن میلاد ہے. فاطمہ کا دل و جاں کا دلبر ہے یہ, فاطمہ کا دل و جاں کا دلبر ہے یہ، سبط اصغر کا فرزند اکبر ہے یہ، نور چشم جگر بند حیدر ہے یہ، نور چشم جگر بند حیدر ہے، آج ساقی
کے گھر جشن میلاد ہے،
آج پوتے کے کا ساقی ہو صدقہ عطا، آج سب کو میں کامرانی پلا، آج بر آئے ہر رند کا مودوا، آج بر آئے ہر رند کا مودوا، آج ساقی کے گھر جشن
میلاد
ہے لطیف اب زمانہ بہت جاگسل، گو محبوں کو راحت نہیں ایک پل. Remember the Palestinians brothers. ہے لطیف اب زمانہ بہت جاگسل، گو محبوں کو راحت نہیں ایک پل، جائے گی نکبتیں برکتوں کے بدل، جائے گی نکبتیں برکتوں کے بدل، آج ساقی کے گھر جشن میلاد ہے، چل سکی آ گیا یوم عشرت فدا، چل سخی آ گیا یوم عشرت فضا، آج ساقی کے گھر جشن میلاد ہے. صلوات اللہ بار دیگر صلوات.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Please recite a loud salawat for Brother Hussain Jafri. Once again, I would like to request everyone who's done eating, please come into the main hall. If you're done eating, please come into the main hall. Next, I would like to invite Brother Ulad Hussain Abidi. Please recite a loud salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
صلوات. ولادت حضرت علی اکبر علیہ السلام اور ولادت زین العابدین السلام مومن مومنات کو مبارک ہو. دو قصیدے پڑھوں گا میں بالکل مختصر سے، علی اکبر علیہ السلام اور زین العابدین السلام کی 12 دیگر صلوات.
اللہم صلی علی محمد و آل محمد.
لیلا کے اور حسین کے دلبر کا جشن ہے، لیلا کے اور حسین کے دلبر کا جشن ہے، تسکین قلب زینب مضطر کا جشن ہے، تسکین قلب زینب مضطر کا جشن ہے، لیلا کے اور حسین کے دلبر کا جشن ہے، ہوتا ہے رحمتوں کا نزول آج بس میں، ہاں کیوں نہ ہو شبیہ پیمبر کا جشن ہے، لیلا کے اور حسین کے
دلبر
کا
جشن ہے،
حسن حسن ہے فاطمہ حسین علی کا نام ہم شکل مصطفیٰ علی اکبر کا جشن ہے لیلا کے اور
حسین کے دلبر کا جشن ہے
یہ بھی جری ہے رکھتا ہے دادا کے سب صفات اس زاویے سے حیدر صفدر کا جشن ہے لیلا
کے اور حسین کے دلبر کا جشن ہے
آیا ہے نور لینے یہاں آسمان کا چاند واقف ہے وہ شبیہ پیمبر کا جشن ہے لیلا
کے اور حسین کے دلبر کا جشن ہے
اللہم صلی اللہ محمد وآل محمد ایک نعرے حیدری
یا علی
نعرے حیدری
یا علی
نعرے حیدری
یا علی
نعرے صلوات
اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل
محمد
بار دیگر صلوات
اللہم
صلی علی محمد وآل محمد
وآل محمد عجل فرجہ
خوشبو جو بزم نور میں پھیلی ہوئی ہے آج خوشبو جو بزم نور میں پھیلی
ہوئی ہے
زین العبا کے ذکر کی محفل سجی ہے زین العبا کے ذکر کی محفل سجی ہے کتنا حسین ہو گیا ماحول دیکھیے کتنا حسین ہو گیا ماحول دیکھیے محفل میں ٹھنڈی ٹھنڈی ہوا چل رہی ہے خوشبو جو بزم میں پھیلی
ہوئی ہے
آئے ہیں پیش کرنے کو ہم تہنیت یہاں آئے ہیں پیش کرنے کو ہم تہنیت یہاں شبیر کے پسر کی ولادت ہوئی ہے شبیر کے پسر کی ولادت ہوئی ہے آج خوشبو جو بزم نور میں پھیلی ہوئی
ہے
بیمار کربلا کا تصدق ہے دیکھیے بیمار کربلا کا تصدق ہے دیکھیے یہ زندگی جو پے کرے دین کو ملی ہے یہ زندگی جو پے کرے دین کو ملی ہے خوشبو جو بزم نور میں پھیلی ہوئی ہے سب حاضرین جشن کو خیرات دو حسین سب حاضرین جشن کو خیرات دو حسین صدقہ اسی کا جس کی ولادت ہوئی ہے صدقہ اسی کا جس کی ولادت ہوئی ہے خوشبو جو بزم نور میں پھیلی ہوئی ہے زین العبا کا ذکر کی محفل ہوئی ہے زین العبا کے جشن میں جو آئے ہیں یہاں زین العبا کے جشن میں جو آئے ہیں یہاں بنت نبی کی ان کو دعا مل رہی ہے بنت نبی کی ان کو دعا مل رہی ہے خوشبو جو بزم نور میں پھیلی ہوئی ہے زین العبا کے ذکر کی محفل سجی ہے آ کر در حسین پہ خیرات مانگ لو آ کر در حسین پہ خیرات مانگ لو مشکل کشا کے لال کے گھر میں خوشی ہے آج مشکل کشا کے لال کے گھر میں خوشی ہے خوشبو جو بزم نور میں پھیلی ہوئی ہے زین العبا کے ذکر کی محفل سجی ہے دامن ہے میرے ہاتھ میں سجاد کا رشید دامن ہے میرے ہاتھ میں سجاد کا رشید صدقہ اسی کو مجھ کو یہ عزت ملی ہے صدقہ اسی کا مجھ کو یہ عزت ملی ہے خوشبو جو بزم نور میں پھیلی ہوئی ہے زین العبا کے ذکر سے محفل سجی ہے بزم ثنا میں آمد بنت نبی ہے بزم ثنا میں آمد بنت نبی ہے اپنے لیے تو واقعی جنت یہی ہے جنت خوشبو ہے بزم نور میں پھیلی ہوئی ہے صلوات
جی
مولانا
نہیں مولانا آ جائے
بڑا بول رہا ہوں
اور پڑھنا اچھا پڑھی بسم اللہ
بولا نہیں اس
کوئی اور پڑھ لیں بار دیگر صلوات
اللہم صلی علی
محمد وآل محمد I didn't get the clue. Imam said to me. Momin again a request to recite Surah Fatiha for all the Momin and inshallah also the Shuhadai Gaza and Lebanon, Yemen, and also the sponsors of tonight's, dinner. Bismillah.
ہمارا دیگر صحبات
اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل آگے
نہیں پڑھ لیجیے
آگے نا
اچھا جیسا آپ ٹھیک مختصر سا ایک دو اسٹینڈرز آپ شروع کیے نا ایک دو اسٹینڈرز پڑھ لیجیے ہم کو بھی تھوڑا ٹائم لگتا ہے سیٹل ہونے کے لیے
پڑھو
ہے ہاں وہی بول پڑھ لیجیے بسم اللہ نعرہ صلوات
اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد
ایک دو چار پڑھ لیجیے بس زیادہ
زین العبا کا مومن و جشن ظہور ہے زین العبا کا مومن و جشن ظہور ہے محفل میں یہ حسین کے دلبر کا نور ہے محفل میں یہ حسین کے دلبر کا نور ہے شرما کے منہ چھپاتا ہے خود آسماں کا چاند شرما کے منہ چھپاتا ہے خود آسماں کا چاند شبیر تیرے چاند کا کچھ ایسا نور ہے شبیر تیرے چاند کا کچھ ایسا نور ہے ہم کو کریں گے جام عطا پنچ پنجتن ہم کو کریں گے جام عطا پانچ پنجتن چوتھے امام پاک کا جشن ظہور ہے چوتھے امام پاک کا جشن ظہور عابد کا نام لیجئے مل جائے گا سکون عابد کا نام لیجئے مل جائے گا سکون دنیا کے رنج و غم سے جو دل چور چور ہے دنیا کے رنج و غم سے جو دل چور چور سید ہے ساجدین کا اور زین العابدین سید ساجدین کا اور زین العابدین خاک شفا میں اس کے ہی سجدوں کا نور ہے زین العبا کا مومن و جشن ظہور ہے صلوات
Please recite a salawat for Brother Hussain Jafri, Brother Ulad Hussain Abdi, and Brother Abbas Abdi. I would like to request everybody once again, if you're done eating, please come to the main hall. Please come to the main hall so we can start the tonight's sermon. I would like to request everyone again to recite Surah Fatiha for your marhumin, for the marhumin of tonight's Niaz sponsor, Brother Abdi and Rizwi's family, and for our brothers and sisters around the world. finally, I would like to invite Agha Jawad Wahdi to come to Mimbar for tonight's sermon. Please recite aloud salawat.
Yeah, this is good. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Yes. Look tired tonight. Is it right? Recite the loud salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Inshallah, to get even more energy, recite the loud salawat for yourself. Allah salli ala Muhammad. Now that your salawat is salawat, inshallah, recite the third salawat for the hastening of the appearance of our master Imam al-As alayhi salatu wassalam. Allahumma salli ala أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المنتجبين سيما بقية الله في العالمين روحي وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه الفداه رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. First, I would like to convey my tabrikat and congratulations on behalf of you and myself to our beloved Imam al-As alayhi salatu wassalam on the auspicious occasion of the birth anniversary of our fourth Imam, Imam Zain-ul-Abideen alayhi salatu wassalam, and Akbar alayhi salam. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us, inshaAllah, to follow the footsteps of our beloved fourth Imam, Imam Ali ibn al-Hussein Zain-ul-Abideen alayhi salatu wassalam, and Akbar alayhi salam. So tonight, inshaAllah, I try to keep it as brief as I can, and perhaps it is brief, briefer than usual, I should say. And the topic is a topic that it is repeated in perhaps speeches, events, and more than every other books and occasions, it is repeated more in the Quran and through the traditions of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. And that is, what is the quality that distinguishes us human being from animals? And perhaps we're going to look at this topic in a different way, and to get perhaps more insight on this very important topic. And of course, bi'idhnillah, by the permission of Allah, if Allah allows me to explain and elaborate in a way that it is clear, it can motivate us to take steps prior to the blessed month of Ramadan. The blessed month of Sha'ban, and we're very close to the month of Ramadan. The blessed month of Sha'ban is a month of worship, of supplication, of seeking forgiveness. And these acts of worship, it's not merely some ritual practices that we're involved with. It's not that. It's way more than that. It's actually an opportunity for us to have another birth. That's about a believer's life. A life, a a new life, that we have the freedom of decision and choice, that we're able to form and carve ourselves. There are many things that it is forced to us, the way we look, what is our name, what is our background, all these things. We don't have any decision. We did not decide to be the way we are now. But when it comes to certain decisions, we have that freedom. We have the opportunity to have another birth, and that is the purpose of religion, that is the purpose of the Quran. So we're going to talk about that, and the reason that perhaps if you look at the previous lectures, it is more geared toward topics that are fundamental. And for some of us, we may think that these topics are not that practical, For me, if you want to be practical in lectures and speech or books, there ought to be topics that deal with today's business that I'm dealing with, today's concerns, problems that I'm dealing with. But there are also profound topics that if we fix those roots, if we change the way we perceive religion, all the other so-called practical problems will be easier to resolve. Because the way we perceive things is extremely important. That's why Quran is focusing on that. If you look at the Quran, most of the time Allah Azza wa Jal is trying to change our perception. And some of those wisdoms that you find in the Quran are very basic, in a way that we already know. It is in the back of our mind, we already knew this, but Allah Azza wa Jal is putting and coming in this topic with a new insight, and that is called wisdom. Wisdom is something that it is resonating. So it's not really a new information that I'm getting from the Quran. It's not like you read a newspaper, there are many new information. But when it comes to Quran is bringing knowledge that perhaps in many cases we already know these things, but Allah is shedding a new light in these knowledge, and that is called wisdom. So tonight's topic is that type of topic that does not really deal straightly, I should say, with topics that I deal, or my today's problems, right? My problems that I'm dealing with as today. It is more profound. So inshallah, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us, inshallah, to elaborate on this topic, and inshallah be a mean for us to make new decisions, inshallah, prior to the month of Ramadan, with your loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So here is an analogy. When you look at an infant, a newborn baby, you see there are developments that this baby is going through. At the beginning, when she is hungry, they start crying. We don't remember these developments, right, when we were developed. But when we look at an infant, we will see these developments. The baby, at the beginning, all he or she does is what? Crying. Sometimes for hunger, sometimes because of a pain. So we already know that when the baby is crying, there's discomfort. I have to take care of them. There's something going on there. And I should immediately go to that baby and take care of the baby. That's a need. And then as this baby is growing up, you'll see another need is coming. What is that? The need of attention. The need of recognition. When a toddler, when you look at them, they start wanting the love from their moms, from their dads. They want that. And if they have a sibling younger than them, if you don't pay attention, if you don't maintain and practice justice and fairness amongst them, the older one will start, what? Getting jealous. Oh, why I'm losing attention from my mom? Why I'm losing attention from my father? As this kid, as this toddler is growing up, another development, another thing, another need. What is that need? The need of learning, curiosity. He or she is what? Curious. They will start asking the same question, what is this? And then you answer them, and my son is like that. I have a toddler. So he asks me, what is this? I tell him, it's a table. And then he says, for what? So I explain, and this is, the purpose of this table. And then the last question would be a question that most of the time I have no answer for. What is that? Why? So you start answering the tables for this purpose, and then at the end is what? Why? So this toddler is developing this curiosity, right? The need of knowing things. These are all the needs. You see, from the very beginning, the need to eat, to be taken care of when we have pain, and then the need of what? Attachment, right? Like recognition, love, and so on. The need of what? Learning. And then in bulugh, we have another need, that's a sexual needs that people start developing, right? So there are these needs that are extremely important to be fulfilled. And it is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And all those needs, by the way, that a toddler has, we still have. Even we need to be recognized. We like to be recognized. We like to be respected. We like to be dignified, just like that toddler, right? Just the format of it is different. That's why we have tradition that أَكْرِمُوا أَوْلَادَكُمْ. Honor your children. Honor your children. Because they have that. As adults, we really think that, oh, this kid doesn't need dignity. He doesn't understand dignity. We just think that way. Even if we know that's the fact that they need recognition, but in the back of our mind, we're as if we're programmed to think that I'm the only one who needs dignity. But in reality, even the children, they have that need. They want to be recognized, they want to be dignified, they want to be acknowledged and loved, and so on. So as adults, even we have these needs. So the question is this. These are honestly obstacles to perfection. All of these things are obstacles for us to achieve the goals that we have set by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In order for us to feed ourselves, what do? We work. We make money. And then we make money for what? To feed ourselves. So, and then we eat. And then what? We have to work again, right? To provide for the next meal. And then again, to what? To feed ourselves. And when I say feed, it's about shelter also, right? It's about health also. All these basic needs that all of us we have and we share. So as a result of this distraction with these activities that are mainly dull activities, mainly activities that increases distraction, and we slowly lose touch from reality and detach from ourselves from the reality of our life. That why we're here, these are all distraction. Yet it is given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I like these complexities that we find. right? In the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah gives us a need, and then the same need, in order for me to fulfill, for the most part will push me toward distraction. To fulfill these needs, and if we only focus to fulfill these needs, what would be the difference between me and animals? Imagine a monkey, a little bit, smarter than perhaps some animals, or even a cat, dog. All creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But all of them, they share the same need. All of them, they share the same need. The need of eating, the need of being taken care of when they have pain, the need of love, the need of attention, they have it. Even curiosity is something that they have it. Certain animals less, certain animals more. So what is the difference between animal and human being? There could be many answers, right? Could be many answers. But when you look at the Quran is very beautiful, brothers and sisters. Allah put people and human being to the highest level of status amongst His creation. Subhanallah. Every one of us potentially is dignified. And potentially, I'm saying it purposely because I have a point here. Every one of us and all human beings, potentially, they're dignified, they're respected, they're acknowledged. They're not alone. And these are beautiful things. These are beautiful things. That a human being cannot be alone, cannot be disrespected. They have to be dignified, because the dignity is not something that I give to people. It is given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So every soul is what? Is respected. Every soul is dignified. But there's an exception. And that exception brings fear. I'm looking for the verse, recite the salawat so I can find it. Actually, let me skip few things that I wanted to mention to get to this point. Is a dua from Imam Sajjad alayhi salatu wassalam. We're celebrating his birthday. It's the first dua of Sahifatul Sajjadiyah. The first dua of Sahifatul Sajjadiyah is one of the most beautiful dua in Sahifatul Sajjadiyah. Subhanallah. What he does in this dua, praise. All he does, just praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But through those praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he's teaching us things. He's also teaching us how to ask certain things from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm just reading the first, maybe the second passage, I think, the second praise. So he says, وَالْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ الَّذِي لَوْ حَبَسَ عَنْ عِبَادِهِ معرفة حمده على ما أبلاهم من مننه متتابعة. Praise belongs to God, for had He withheld from His servant the knowledge to praise Him or to thank Him, in another word, for the uninterrupted kindness with which He has tried them. So I'm praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for what? Because He has given me the knowledge. The fact that I know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala needs what? Gratitude. Subhanallah. We barely think of this, right? We think of praising and thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the car that I have, for the house that I have, for the siblings that I have, for the children that I have, for the spouse that I have, for the parents that I have, and so on and so forth. But the Imam is saying that, look, imagine if you didn't know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imagine that. What would be the result of that? This will be the result of that. And the manifest favors which He has lavished upon them, they would have moved about in His kindness without praising Him. So the result of not knowing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would be, the people would just utilize the blessings and favors from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without what? Praising Him, without mentioning His name. And spread themselves out in His provision without thanking Him. They will وَتَوَسَّعُوا فِي رِزْقِهِ. They will expand their wealth, right? That Allah Azza wa Jal has given them without praising and thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is the best part. He says, وَلَوْ كَانُوا كَذَلِكَ لَخَرَجُوا مِنْ حُدُودِ الْإِنسَانِيَةِ إِلَى حَدِّ الْبَهِيمِيَّةِ. Had such been this the case, if that is the case, that I'm expanding my wealth without thanking Him, utilizing the favors is given by Him and is from Him without praising Him, right? What would happen? They would have left the bounds of humanity for that of beastliness. إِلَى حَدِّ الْبَهِيمِيَّةِ, meaning animal. So the Imam ﷺ is saying that the difference between an animal and human being is what? Is the idea of knowing the source of these blessings. The source of this blessing. That if I don't know, if I'm not recognizing the source of these blessings, there's no difference between me and a human being and animals. Is He going to stop here? No, He's not going to. He's going to go beyond even. فَكَانُوا كَمَا وَصَفَ فِي مُحْكَمِ كِتَابِهِ. As the firmed book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described, إِنْهُمْ إِلَّا كَالْأَنْعَامِ بَلْ هُمْ أَضَلُّوا سَبِيلًا. They are but as the cattle. Human being, the same human being that Quran and Allah Azza wa Jal has dignified them over every creations, including the best of His angels. Including the best of His angel. The same Quran is coming and saying that there are going to people that are going to be what? Worse than cattle. Worse than cattle. Why? بَلْ هُمْ أَضَلُّوا what? سَبِيلًا. Because their path is what? Is worse than the animals. Now, some scholars, when they want to describe this, what does this mean, right? What does this mean? Like, I can be worse than animals? What does this mean? That the path is more misguided and darker than animals. The Imam is also answering this. It lies in the idea and the fact that the animals cannot do more than what they're doing. But human being, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them something that He has not given to the animals. The first is what? To think and ponder. To ask certain questions that we usually ignore. It's so interesting that if I ask someone that, look, you gotta go study this field. You have to take this goal as your goal. An intelligent person would ask me what? Why? What is the outcome? What is the outcome? And if I tell him that the outcome would be just getting a degree and then getting another degree after that, and start over getting another degree after that, it doesn't make sense, does it? Does it make sense? They'll call me like, you're insane. What are you talking about? Am I crazy to get a degree so I can get another degree and then another degree and then another degree? Stupid. But the interesting part is many people, they live like this in relation to this dunya. That they work to get money to provide for their basic needs, and then after that what? To get more money and to do the same thing. They work to work. They eat to eat. Perhaps if I say it this way, it gets a little bit more clear. I heard from a scholar, a marja', he said, as a Muslim, when I work, I'm not supposed to work for money. I'm not supposed to work for money. I'm beyond money. I'm beyond money. So what would be the reason? What would be the reason? Because working is recommended in Islam, is mustahab in Islam. So I'm doing it. So there is a greater purpose in working. There is a tradition from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to Abu Dhar. Abu Dhar, Ridwanullah ta'ala alayhi, that, O Abu Dhar, for every act that you do, have an intention. So I ask you this, because sometimes I say this in my lectures, that Islam, with these instructions, some of us, we may think that this is going to be too hard. What I'm going to do with my life? I want to be rich. How about that? So for that, I tell you, number one, if it is your rizq, it's going to come. Don't worry about it. The second part would be about my own part, right? My own responsibility. So imagine there are two people. Person number A, he works to make money. To make money. Person number two, he works out of love. Out of love. Which one would be successful? Which one would be successful? The person who works only for money, or the one who is working for a greater cause? And the best example is Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. You know, Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, they were not poor. Even at points of their lives that they dealt with poverty, it was their own decision to live like that. Like for instance, for Imam al-Hasan alayhi salatu wassalam, it's been said that he sold out all his wealth 2 times. 2 times, imagine. You work, you build wealth, and then you sell everything, and then you start over. And then he did few other time sharing his wealth. Like he did 50-50. 50% to, a group of people or someone, and few time he did that too. Amirul Momin alayhi salatu wasalam, he worked. He worked. Imam Zain-ul-Abideen, he worked. Right? They made money. They had businesses. Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam had businesses. Right? With S, plural. He had businesses. They were thinking, how can I double this money even? We have tradition. Not because, and he mentioned this too, not because I like money. No. The reason for me to think of doubling this money is because I want to double the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They had nice houses also. They had big houses also. Again, some of the imams and certain imams based on their time. It is their decision to live like that, and there's a huge reason for that, right? A profound reason for that. So there's nothing wrong with these type of activities. But the problem comes when we get too much distracted with this life, and as a result of that, we lose touch of the reality. What happened was that and we change the goals of religion. We start changing the goals of religion. That Quran comes and say that, look, potentially every one of us is supposed to be the deputy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Potentially every one of us is supposed to be the manifestation of Allah's attribution in this dunya. But slowly we lose touch. The month of Sha'ban is for that, right? The month of Sha'ban is for that, to wake up, to start thinking about these things. When we read Munajat Sha'baniyah, when we read praise Salat, when we perhaps fast in some days, anytime we are reflecting, so we're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, look, Ya Allah, I know the goal of my creation. أَفَحَسِبْتُمْ أَنَّمَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ عَبَثًا, Allah asked, that do you think that I have created you abath? Like abath is the way I live, right? I wake up, the first thing I think of is my breakfast. And then perhaps if it's a working day, I go work, again, to make money, and then start thinking about, dinner. Like my decisions, my choices are about which enjoyment I have to get. Right? There's a list of food is coming to my mind, which one I have to make decision, and then I decide. So if this activity is going on, and all day of my life is like that, right? That's heedlessness. That is ghafla. And in Iran, our teachers, even our elderlies, they had a saying that بچه جان درس بخون یه چیزی بشی. The Iranian, they know, right? Beta, for example, beta, study so you can become something, not someone, something. Study so you can become what? Something. What is something usually in their mind? To become doctor, to have a profession, to make money and all that. That's how we grow up. That's how we grow up. That's so you can get a job, and then after getting that job, what will be the goal of life? The same thing that we just said. That vicious cycle, right, of repetition for basically nothing. Basically nothing. And alhamdulillah, we have religion, we have Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, through these manabir, through these teachings, we have learned different things. But that type of cultural understanding of life is absolutely against the Quran. I'm going to read the Quran. So even if I become something, the way the teachers and the people around us used to tell us, even if I become what they're asking me, still is nothing. It's not something, it's nothing. Because the core purpose of that is to just living this life, not looking beyond this life. And here's the Quran. So even if I become knowledgeable with this understanding, when I say knowledge, all type of knowledge, including, Hausa knowledge, any type of knowledge, if the core belief or reason is to make money only, right? To have this repetition, this vicious cycle of repetition, is against the Quran. Where is the verse? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وَلَقَدْ ذَرَأْنَا لِجَهَنَّمَ كَثِيرًا مِنَ الْجِنِّ وَالْإِنسِ. Indeed, we will resurrect many of jinn and ins and human being. To where? To Jahannam, to hellfire. Why? What is the reason? لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ. They have hearts. They have heart, they have understanding. لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا. They don't use it. They have a soul, potentially speaking, they can understand, but they don't try to understand. يَفْقَهُون, right? From deeper understanding. They don't want to go beyond the surface level of human being. And my last point is important, man. They don't want to go beyond the surface level of human being. As a result, they're in that hellfire. So through this gaining knowledge, I may even gain information, but that information is not translated into a deeper understanding. And that deeper understanding comes through what? Action. وَلَهُمْ أَعْيُنٌ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ بِهَا. They have eyes, but they don't see. So, what Allah means here, if I have eye, I can see, right? I can see things, I can see people, I can see everyone here, alhamdulillah. But what here Quran is meaning and saying is that there is another type of seeing that I'm supposed to practice in this dunya. So a believer's life, if I want to go to heaven, not going to hellfire, I'm supposed to be able to see things, right? See the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? Constant reflection. Constant reflection. وَلَهُمْ آذَانٌ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ. They have ears, but they don't listen. They have ears, but they don't listen. أُولَٰئِكَ كَالْأَنْعَامِ بَلْ هُمْ أَضَلُّ سَبِيلًا. This is where they're the worse than animals, because they have all these qualities, but they never used it. So the secret to difference between human being and animal is maturity, Maturity. I have to be able to mature. And this happens gradually. Like for instance, if I'm in the first grade, pass to 5th, 6th, and then go high school, when I look back, right, I will utilize my previous knowledge to be successful in university. If I pass to be, I'm a graduate student, I'm using my previous knowledge to, so even the maturity when it comes to ma'nawiyya and spirituality is gradual. So there has to be steps I'm taking. And then as I'm gradually, inshallah, improving, I can utilize the previous knowledge to see even more things. So there has to be a start, a beginning. And that is actually refreshing our iman. And the month of Sha'ban is the best month to start. Starting from the month of Rajab, obviously, but the month of Sha'ban is the month of supplication. As I remind myself and everyone, Munajat Sha'baniya and also Salawat Sha'baniya that our brother Ibrahim is reciting after the prayer, with the intention of paying attention to the meaning of it as much as I can, is one of those steps that we can take and see, inshallah, different perspectives and perception toward Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, myself, and my relation to Allah Azza wa Jalla and this dunya. So we can, inshallah, take steps and make decisions and not leaving it till the night of Qadr. And starting from now helps me to prepare for the night of Qadr, so inshallah I can benefit the most if Allah allows me. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us with forgiveness. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to bless us with guidance in this blessed month of Sha'ban. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to bless our children, our future generation with guidance. So inshallah, us and we and them can be the best of Allah's servants, the best of Imam al-As'alam's followers. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to hasten the appearance of our Master Imam al-As alayhi salatu wassalam, and make us a deserving community for the dhuhur and reappearance of our beloved Imam al-Mahdi ajjalallah ta'ala farjuh sharif. Wassalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. السلام عليك يا رسول الله. السلام عليك يا خير خلق الله. السلام عليك يا علي بن أبي طالب وصي رسول الله. السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين. السلام عليك يا حسن بن علي المجتبى. السلام عليك يا حسين بن علي الشهيد بكربلاء وعلي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي. السلام عليك يا مولانا يا صاحب العصر والزمان يا بقية الله يا إمام الإنس والجان. الأمان الأمان من فتن الزمان. عجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله تعالى مخرجك وجعلنا من خير أنصارك والمستشهدين بين يديك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.